Alright, everybody. My name is Shakey from the Couch Commanders, and today we're going to be playing Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin Edition. I actually had a previous recording ready to go for you guys, except I didn't like the audio quality of it, and the file I saved it into was kind of a fussy file, so we're going to try this instead. So, we are going to be doing a well, I don't know how long we're going to play through Dark Souls 2, but we're going to play through as long as I can. Um, each of these videos I hope to make anywhere between 30 and 40 minutes long. Probably will end up doing around 30-minute cuts. No guarantee the cuts will be the best at times because I'm just going to be constantly playing and I don't have a clock in front of me to keep track of when to end an episode, start an episode. But this will be a solo playthrough from just me, Shakey. So I'll have the other couch commanders here. Maybe down the road we can have one of them sit in a session. This isn't going to be a fancy run. No, this is going to be a no death run or anything like that because I'm not that cool. But anyway, Dark Souls 2, one of my favorite games out there. One of those games you love to hate. So we're going to get right into it here, guys. And I am playing on the PC version through Stream or Steam. And if you're wondering, it's literally just the Xbox version ported to the PC. Like if you go to the help menu, it'll literally show Xbox controller instructions. So let's just get right into it. We're gonna go new game. Saving data. We are going to be...
Perhaps you've seen...
We're going to skip over the cutscenes. If you want to see the cutscenes, you can go on YouTube. There are tons of awesome sites that show you cutscenes. But if we watch all the cutscenes, it's going to take about 20 years. You will notice I am trying to play this on highest settings on my computer. So the audio and video quality should be decent. Any flaws on that is from my end on recording, not the game itself, because the computer I'm playing it on is top of the line. Pretty much you're not going to get anything better. Okay, so we're going to name our character. Let's see here. We're going to name him D. Schmolgo. D. Schmelgo. Oh my god, somebody named their character D. Schmolgo. Well, let's name him Trip Tip Type. Trip Tip Type. Hell yeah, that's our guy's name, Trip Tip Type. At least we know our own name. I don't really care what my character looks like. Class, we're gonna go as Sorcerer, because that's pretty much like cheating. Not worried about that. Homeward Bone, Save a Tree Giant, Bonfire Ascetic, Petrified Something. We're just gonna go with the Life Ring, even though we'll get another Life Ring here pretty soon. We're going to finalize creation. Yep. Alright. So, Dark Souls is known as a series of you play and then you die, and that's exactly what happens. I think in my first playthrough that I tried recording the other day, I went about an hour and a half before I died. So, just expect me to die a lot. We're going to have fun with it. I'm going to go back here and get this item. I'm going to try to remember to pick up as many items and secrets as I can as I play through, so... not necessarily a guide on how to play the game, because I'm kind of a scrubby player. I'm nowhere near one of those super fancy players, but, you know, you get an idea of, like, if you play by yourself or whatever, and you're like, oh, hey, I wonder if there's an item here. You know, you can maybe look through our playthrough and see that there is or isn't. So, this guy normally you'd want Void like the plague, but because we're all cool... Oh gosh. No, don't do that, guys. I meant to disengage and run away. Instead, I about got us killed right off the bat. So what we're doing is baiting and luring him. Pretty basic technique you can use in the game. And what happens is they'll have like an aggression meter, so like as long as you're attacking them, they're gonna try to come and get you. You can use that to your advantage to lure monsters into areas where they normally wouldn't go. So we're gonna get a stone ring right off the bat. We're gonna equip our life ring too. Stone ring, additional reduction in enemy poise. What that means is as we hit enemies, they're going to get like you see that green bar I have going down while I run. Well, enemies have that green bar too, and so when we hit them now, that green bar is going to go down just a little bit faster. And if you can get that number to go down faster, that's going to stun them, and they're going to trip and fall over and get weaker quicker, which is a good thing. So I don't think there's any items over there. Okay. So anyway, so there's a fun little roundabout, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we're going to go over here. Now, see, I'm used to having a shield all the time. I don't have a shield right now, so I got to remember that. These guys think they're little badasses. There we go. So, there are people who can do speedruns of this game, and they are just ridiculously awesome. Like, I think there's a guy I was watching online, he said he can finish in about 4 or 5 hours or some crap like that, which is silly in my opinion, but because that just seems ridiculous. Okay, we're going to dual wield this dagger. Should be one more in here somewhere. Thought there was one more. Maybe we already killed him. So, this game started off ages ago in the early to mid 1990s as a series of games called Kingsfield, which were first-person 3D monster fighting maze walking through kind of think like solo Dungeons and Dragons. That's how this game started off with. And Kingsfield was notorious for people dying a lot. Super hard gameplay because everything was in first person. I know that pissed off a lot of people. I personally prefer first person. I feel that it immerses you more. Let's see here. We're gonna. There's tons of people you gotta talk to, and okay, yeah, okay. She's repeating herself there. So you want to talk to NPCs until they start repeating themselves. It's kind of an annoying story format, but that's how it works. Yes, a human effigy. So in this game, when you die, you become kind of a thing called like an unkindled or something like that, or undead. Pretty much you're a zombie. And if you use a human effigy, you're no longer a zombie. Yay! There we go. We got a bonfire. So we got our first torch. So torches you can use to light little torch sticks that are laying around. Doesn't really help you any. I don't know if you get any bonuses for lighting torches. Like back here, you can see there's a torch. I've never noticed any difference if you light them or not. So. So what we're going through here is just the basic tutorial area. You do not have to go through this if you don't want to. I prefer to just because sometimes there's certain items that you need early on in the game. We can't get to that guy yet, but he's fun. Okay, here we're going to show you a critical attack. Critical attack just deals a little bit more damage, gets you a tiny bit more souls. Not a big deal. Go over here. Grab another dagger. Normally, like, we could dual wield daggers if we want to. It doesn't do us any good. There we go. Should be the second guy around here somewhere. There we go. But weapons can degrade over time. So sometimes you want multiple weapons of the same type, especially if you have a favorite type and it starts to get worn down. It's like, I don't know how well you can see it on your screen, but underneath the dagger, oops, there's a little red bar underneath my dagger, and that's our damage meter. Right now we're just kind of going through the process here. Yay! Okay, so here's an NPC. You can never see the NPC, but it's a bird, and she's always in all the Dark Soul games. So we're going to see if we have an item we can leave her. In this case we do. We have a smooth and silky stone that we can leave for her. So we're going to go ahead and leave it. So we're going to climb down the ladder here. I'm going to climb back up. Ooh, helps if you hit the right button. And so these birds you can trade certain items to, and they in turn will give you other items. In this case, she gave me a crimson water, not a big deal. Okay, so souls of, you're going to find out as we play the game, we're going to get things like Soul of the Nameless Soldier, and blah, 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 blah. And what that does is, you can use them. You see those little points down there, that 1410? Those are the souls I've acquired. And that's like your currency in the game. That little ghost thing you're seeing, that's actually another player who played through this at some point in time. And you can kind of use that as like a way to judge where you need to be or whatever. I hate the jumping in this game. It's very, very flawed. You have to use your left stick, so your L3 button, to jump, which sucks because you're also pressing down on your L3 button to run forward. So if you push it wrong or whatever, it ends up getting you killed a lot. So it's kind of horseshit. Let's see here. We're going to jump down here. So there you can do what's called a critical strike. But the critical strike was super weak because we're using a knife. If we had had like a halberd or an axe or a sword, we probably would have one-shot that guy. Cracked red eye orb, we can use that to invade other players. I should show you that crimson water we got too. So we have human effigies, we have life gems, which we use to restore HP. Some amber herbs slightly restore spell uses. That comes in handy later on in tougher fights. Greatly restores HP and spell use, which is great, but we're not going to use it. Dark Sign, lose souls, and return to last bonfire use. So this is like, if you absolutely need to get home, back to our safe spot, use this up. Gold pine resin, apply lightning to right hand weapon. It's pretty good. Temporarily boost luck. Not really all that good of an item. Honestly, I've never noticed a big difference. Black separation crystal. Banish phantoms and return to your world. So if you don't want people attacking you, you can be like, nope. Bone of order restores the link to other worlds. And that opens you up to more players coming in, I believe. And what that is, that's a lot of PvP stuff. I don't like. I'm one of the few people who. I'm not a big fan of PvP in this game. I don't think PvP should have ever been in this game. I feel that it distracted from what the game started off with, and the games were about cooperation with other players and exploring this really beautiful world. And I feel like I don't know. I feel like the PvP angle just kind of created this really toxic, nasty community of like a bunch of people who have to measure dicks and be better than each other, and so it's like a bunch of chest thumping stupidity. I don't know. I just always felt it was kind of stupid. We're gonna go over here and grab this real quick, this divine blessing. We're gonna go over here, the way real quick, and talk to an NPC. He's just gonna babble on a little bit. Let's see, we're gonna go over here. I do like how this game is almost like seamless with very little loading. So designing this was just probably a nightmare for folks, and I love it. Alright, that's all he wants us to know is that there's a statue over here. You're gonna see it. Eventually, we gotta get an item, and we're gonna use it to free this young girl. But we're not going to do that yet. But we are going to come over here. I'm going to zippy zap this dude when we can get a chance. You can see he's pretty susceptible to the magic, so looks like a giant ball sack. That's terrible, but is what it is. There we go. And we're just doing that to get some quick souls. See if they dropped anything. They did not. I'll go over here, grab this. Lloyd's Talisman. See what that does. Lloyd's Talisman times 3. Block Estus recovery within a limited area. So again, that's a PvP item. So if somebody invades you, what you can do is use that talisman, and now they can't kill. So, that's like, you know, a semi-decent thing to have for you. And I am playing this online, so there's the chance that I could get invaded. If I get invaded, not much I can do. I usually suck at PvP, so I will die in like 2 seconds. So if we get invaded, it'll probably mean we're just going to die and have to head over to our corpse and get our body back. So here's like a little hidden pathway. This game is notorious for like hidden pathways. We got Morning Star, Cleric, Sacred Chime, stuff we can't use yet, but we got binoculars right here. Boom. That's good for looking for secrets in the game, or if you just want to really enjoy how the game looks. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna rest. Lasagna. Okay. Let's look at our inventory here. Oh, I forgot to add some armor here. There we go. We're gonna go over and talk to this young girl. This is the Fire Shrine Keeper lady. She's kind of the main character in this town. She gave us a healing flask there. And what we can do is we can use her to level up. There we go. Alright. So, let's see. First thing we want to do is we're going to raise up our strength a lot, because eventually we're going to get certain items that we need strength higher. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to the Way of the Blue. Way, way, way up here. So this is one of the many NPCs that you can talk to in the game, and he introduces you to a Covenant. These are like little factions in the game that you can join. Okay, so we joined the Way of the Blue. So, if we help other players, we would get special items, and then if you get enough of those items, you can give them to certain people and do certain things. So, it's just extra little side quest type stuff. Here you can read. We got what is this? 327,642,618 deaths worldwide. That is I don't know if the number still works or not, but yeah, that's actually how many people have died playing this game. So that's a bit silly. This guy's gonna give us a side quest. So he wants us to find the key to his shop. Go over here. Little thing we need in this building. Get us a life gem. There's going to be a kitty cat in here that we can talk to. Usually, there she is. And that's a throwback to some of the other Souls games and stuff. There's like weird NPCs you can talk to. So what she does is she lets you leave covenants. She shows you which covenants you're in and what rank you're at. And you can buy some useful stuff from her. The main thing is the Silver Cat Ring reduces falling damage. That becomes huge later on in the game. Absorb HP from each defeated foe. Doesn't really help you out a whole bunch. Red Eye Ring, easier to be detected by enemies. If you're playing like a tanking class and helping a friend out, that's a good ring to have. Easier to connect to players who choose the same god. So what that is, if you want to play with another player, you use this and it helps you find each other a little bit easier on the servers. Ring of Whispers, we're going to come back and get this later on, early on in the game. You need this for a certain NPC and boss fight. It's literally only used in one section of the entire game. But you really want to have that opened up so that you can fight a boss a lot easier. And then over here are little piggies. Now, for some reason, they made these little piggies just impossibly hard. As you can see, they don't necessarily do much damage, but I don't know why they made them so hard, if it was just an inside joke or what. Like, literally, there's no reason to fight these guys. So, we're gonna run away. Hopefully they didn't follow us. Okay. Oh, they did follow us. What the hell? So as you can see, they are whooping up on us. So we're gonna go reset them. If you ever have enemies nearby and you want to get rid of them, just run over to a bonfire, reset it, and you'll see it does a little fog wall, and they're gone. That resets everything locally back to its original home point. There's a mansion over there, but we can't get into it until we get a key. There's a Jerkwad NPC merchant here. He doesn't sell anything you absolutely need, but he has armor from bosses and stuff as you fight them. If we go over here, open up the treasure chest. Got a Titanite shard. And what you use that for is you can use those to upgrade weapons. Alright, so we're going to continue on with the game here. First we gotta go talk to this lady. We got what was called Estus Flask Shard. So what you want to do with that is nope, you don't want to do that. Don't get quick finger trigger like I do here. Upgrade Estus Flask, go ahead. Yay, so now we can use our Estus Flask, which we've got to equip. We can now use it twice instead of once. Our life gems back there too. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna take a drink here real quick, and then we're gonna keep going on. Alright. Onward we go into the actual game here. So there's several pathways that you can choose to follow. We're gonna go this way, just because this is like the pathway you're supposed to follow. Now, you see all these warning signs on the ground? Those are ones that other players leave. And the reason there's so many before this chest is that if I was playing the replay of this game, because there's like new game plus, etc., certain things in the games change. So that chest is no longer a chest; it's actually a mimic, like from D&D. So it's a treasure chest that's actually a monster, and he tries to kill you, and he sucks. And the mimics in this game can be a real hassle if you don't know what you're doing, because they can like pick you up and chomp you in their mouth and eat you, and then you're pretty much just SOL. And we're gonna go over here. And we're gonna come back to that item up in the corner of the screen there, that one. There's another pathway that we could just jump from this island to over there, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go this way because we need to kill us a big old tough enemy here in a second. But we're going to kill us that guy, which normally, again, you don't want to do, but we know we can. There we go. Let's lure this idiot over. Now you gotta be careful here because there's going to be a... there's a little archer over there in the corner who can really just make your day super crappy. And you don't want him. He's not fun. Okay, so you can see he's pissed off. He's going to come after us. Whoop, we got too close there, didn't we? We're actually lucky he didn't pick us up and kill us, so... Now, let's see, we're being stupid here. There we go. So these guys are pretty easy to deal with. Later on in the game, too, when we have, like, poison available to us, we'll use poison. Because it's super easy to deal with them. We're not going to use a health potion because we have a save point coming up. So I told you we'd come back to this little spot here. Homeward bone. So the bones you can use to teleport to a safe spot if you find yourself in a pickle. I prefer not to use them because as long as you don't save, the enemies stay dead in the area, so that's always a good idea. We skipped a covenant that we could join at the beginning, which would have increased the difficulty in the game, but right now we're not too worried about it, and we're not farming items. So we're gonna just rest up here. But yeah, back at the beginning of the game, in that first area we were at, there's actually a secret covenant you can join. That increases the game's difficulty by about half. It makes it so the enemies always come back. Because usually if you kill an enemy about 15 times or so, you never have to deal with that enemy again. But if you're part of that Dark Covenant, the enemies always respawn, which is great if you're farming items. The other downside is if you go to fight boss fights, you cannot summon in help on those boss fights, which is a super crappy deal. So you saw that there, how that guy had the bow? See, he's going to keep trying to shoot arrows at us, and we don't want that, so... There we go. So you're going to see a lot of back and forth of me, like, running into an area and then running away. I was far enough away from that. Oh well. These guys run like just... I don't know if they did that on purpose or what, but they always run so stupid. So we did a critical attack on him there. Almost got attacked there, which would have been a bummer, huh? Okay, so there we go. So we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Well, except for that. Tried to get out of his way. Apparently I get out of the way enough. So you gotta be careful because there's a guy right here. He thinks you and him should be just the bestest of best friends. You shouldn't be. Go ahead and kill him. And go over here and grab this little dumb item. Soul of the Lost Undead. Alright. Okay, now we get to the first real meat of the game, as I like to call it. I'll go up this ladder. And it is just a room full of butthead enemies. Got infantry axe, that's pretty cool. And we're going to go take care of a problem enemy right off the bat. Now you see there's tons of bloodstains there. That's because you can jump from here over there. But I always get it wrong. I always get the jump wrong. So we're not going to be doing that. It's not an important key item. So jumping over there is kind of pointless. And we're so low on health when we begin this game that I just don't feel like messing with it. And you can see that dude threw a fireball mass, which would have sucked if that had connected. It probably would have killed us. So you gotta jump over here. You're gonna pick up some items we can't use yet. Short sword and lost soul of the undead. There we go. Use those walls to your advantage. So you saw it kind of pushed me over. It's not necessarily cheating, but it's taking advantage of the way the gameplay mechanics work. So this game's all about hidden pathways and secrets and taking advantage of its size and dimensions. Dark Souls 3, in my opinion, is a little bit lesser of a game for the nature of Dark Souls. It definitely plays out better, I think, but I feel like a lot of stuff got lost in translation into 3. But Dark Souls 3 probably had the best use of dimensions in a game. Like, just how they choose to make use of the level. But yeah, no, this is, you can see here we're trying to crit attack everything that we can, because there's just a little bit of everything here. We're going to lure him over here. We don't want to fight. We don't want to fight too close up here because, again, everything up here is a goddamn corpse that'll come alive and try to kill you. And you can see them breathing on the ground if you pay attention. We missed our critical attack. That's okay. Oh, we're grabbing some throwing knives. Not the greatest item in the world, but it's good to lure out enemies. There we go. Kill him. So it's, you know, there's going to be players out there, if you watch online, like, they are just going to breeze through this like it's a walk in the park. I'm nowhere near that fast on the trigger. I'm not that great of a player, so... Okay, so we got invaded by a dark spirit. So what we're going to do is... we're going to run away and die. Because I guarantee it, he's going to kill us. So, let's go over here and see if we can figure out where the hell this player is. So you can see he's trying to kill us. We're trying to kill him. So you can see he's got a long sword, so he's able to hit us a little bit better. Also, you notice that he's able to hiss, even though he shouldn't be able to hiss. So you can see this guy's being a butt. So he's trying to get us to waste our spells, which we don't care about. There we go. So we killed him. Alright. Yay. Doesn't really do anything for us, but we killed him. Got human effigy for it. Not a big deal. So, bad news is we used up our healing flasks that I would have preferred to have for up here. But that's okay. So, we're going to go up here. Hopefully not be invaded again.